Welcome back to Got the Magnet. We just came back from the world's largest cruise ship, Icon of the Seas. And today I'm going to review the ship itself. I'm going to talk about the layout, the elevators, the room, and how easy or not it is to get around the ship. Icon of the Seas is massive, over 250,000 tons and 20 decks. But here's something a lot of people don't know. When cruise ships say tons, it doesn't mean weight. It actually refers to gross tonnage, which measures the total internal volume of the ship. Think of it like this. It's measure how much space is inside the ship, not how heavy it is. That includes everything from cabins to hallways, restaurants, theaters, even crew areas. So when you hear 250,000 tons, it means there's a massive amount of usage space inside the ship. The larger the number, the more room there is for neighborhoods, pools, and places for people to spread out, which explains why even that around 7,600 people on board still doesn't feel overwhelming, because the ship is designed to distribute that space across multiple decks and areas. When you hear 250,000 tons, just think, the ship is like a floating city. The ship is divided into different neighborhoods, which is great. Icon actually has 8 different neighborhoods. Each has its own vibe. You got the Aquadome, which is a massive enclosed space with shows and ocean views. It also has the Overlook in front of the cruise ship. Throw Island is where all the action is. Water slides and the water park. Chill Island is more about relaxing pools and laid-back vibes. Surfside is designed for families with kids, very bright and energetic. The Hideaway is for more adults focused, with an infinity-style pool and whirlpools. Central Park is one of the most unique areas, with real plants and a quieter atmosphere. It also has some of the specialty restaurants and a couple bars, but we'll talk about that more later in another video. Another one is the Royal Promenade is the main hub with shops, bars, and a lot of foot traffic. It has all of their shops, most of the bars, the piano bar, the dual piano, and there's a comedy club. The last neighborhood is the Suite neighborhood, is a more private, upscale area for suite guests only. The neighborhoods also affect how you get around the ship. Not every deck goes from front of the ship to the back. You'll be walking and suddenly hit a dead end. And that's because you're actually running into a different neighborhood. Once you do, you would have to go up or down a deck to continue. The elevators on Icon are actually different than the smaller or older ships. You select your floor before you even get into the elevator. Then it assigns you a Pacific elevator to get into, and the elevators are labeled from A through K. Once you pick your floor, it tells you exactly which elevator to go to. It's designed to reduce wait time, but there's a learning curve. Once you get used to it, it actually works pretty well. We stayed in room 10589, which overlooks Central Park. And if you look down, we are right across the Izumi Sushi restaurant. This is an infinity balcony room, so instead of a traditional balcony, it's enclosed and you control the window with the push of a button. But there's also a privacy switch, but we never used it because there are full curtains that close off the sitting area. The seating area, which was a cozy little area, had a couple of chairs, a table, and a footrest. I also put Romeo in that area so we would know which room we were in. Joe actually used that space a lot at nighttime, and he would close the curtains so he didn't disturb my sleep. There's also a lighting control for morning, noon, and evening. We didn't even realize that we had it until later in the cruise. The room, I thought, was big enough for the two of us. It had 2 twin beds pushed together to make a king, plus a sofa. The drawer space was good for things like socks, undergarments, and bathing suits. I hung most of my evening wear in the closet. In one of the drawers, there was a hairdryer, and underneath the drawers was a safe that you can put your valuables in, like credit cards, passports, money, anything that you didn't think that you would use. I also found that they had 4 wire baskets under the closet, and they made a squeaking noise like nails on a chalkboard, which gives me chills when I hear it and I think about it. The bathroom had a nice sized shower with glass doors and a combined shampoo and body wash, which I know most people don't like. The only issue that I encountered was counter space. It was a little tight in the bathroom because I have a lot of pills that I take in the morning and evening, but later on I did find out that there were more counter space near the shower. But there were shelves near the toilet and at the end of the vanity, which did help. A lot of people do ask about outlets, and there were plenty of outlets. There are 1 US outlet, 1 European outlet, 3 USB-A outlet, and 1 USB-C outlet. Charging devices was never an issue for us. As an added bonus, they provided us bathrobes and slippers to use during the cruise. Don't take them home because they will charge you, even with around 7,600 people on board. It didn't feel as crowded as we expected. The layout helps spread the people out. When we were at the pool, some people was at the promenade getting pizza or having breakfast or lunch at the buffet. The whirlpools, they're probably open 24 hours a day. And the pizza was open until 1 o'clock in the morning. And ice cream, of course. Joe had to get at least 3 or 4 ice creams a day. But even at full capacity, it felt manageable. From a ship's design standpoint, Icon of the Sea did a great job balancing size and usability. If you're planning a cruise on Icon of the Seas, hopefully this helps you understand how the ship actually works. Please like, subscribe, and share to Got the Magnet. We are also on Facebook and Instagram, and we do have another channel called Smooth Sailing Chronicles, and that's only on Facebook.